Pastor Vince wasn't feeling well. Thank God for recovery. I think he's going around, Pastor Vince, because he woke up this morning not feeling 100%, so I think it's making its rounds. But before we start, let's go to Lord in prayer. Lord God, today is a good day. Despite whatever any of us may be going through, individually, collectively, as a family, Lord, you are good all the time. And regardless if it's physical, emotional, mental, spiritual calamities in our lives, God, you are good. And as we study your word today, we pray, God, that we do it justice, that we have a sense of reverence for your word, which is inerrant, without mistake. And that we do our job to let it penetrate our hearts and transform our lives so that we can go forth and fulfill the Great Commission of sharing the gospel. Because we ourselves are convicted so much in the sacrifice of Jesus Christ. Commit to you, Lord, now, our hearts and our minds. We pray in Jesus' name. Amen. Earlier this week, I was listening Focus on the Family. It's nice to have, when I get into work, I get into work really early. Not really early, around 6:30. So I have the office all to myself. I have an office, and there's nobody there that shares with me. And so for the first maybe hour and a half, 2 hours, there's nobody in there. So I get to listen. I get to really spend time and just meditate. It's really quiet. I have an hour drive in, early morning, so I have a lot of time. And I think it stemmed from, and I praise God so much for our study on war room prayer. But what that's really done is it's transformed my life in respect to prayer and reflecting. And one of the things that I was doing was I was listening to Focus on the Family. And there was a lady who wasn't a believer in Jesus Christ at the time, but she had her PhD and she was studying something. She was studying to write a paper or a book of some sort, and part of her study was to read the Bible in order to counter those arguments. And so for 2.5, 3 years, she read the Bible, not for devotional purposes, but for research purposes. And what she confessed was that it transformed her life. It doesn't matter why you're reading it, for whatever purpose. The power isn't in our perception or our own interpretation of it, or how we can receive it in that respect, right? The power is not in that. The power is in the Word of God. Because all Scripture is God-breathed. And so even though she might have been reading it for a different purpose, it still transformed her life. Where now she's standing up and believing the things that the Word of God says. And there are a few books in my life that have changed my perception, my approach, and my worldview. Probably just the last 10 years I've been a very avid reader. I love reading. I hated reading in school. I hated it. I failed my AP English in high school. I actually had to change classes because I was failing AP English. I hated reading. The first book I had to read in that class was The Brothers Karamazov. It was like 900 and some pages. I couldn't get through it. And now it's one of those books on my eye. It's an amazing book. I love reading. And there are a few books that I have read that have transformed my perception, my approach, my worldview. One of those books is a letter penned by the Apostle John. One of the most extensive sermon studies that I've done is a verse-by-verse exegetical study on the book of 1 John, on the letter of 1 John. 5 chapters. It's an amazing book. I've been told, informally I've been told that the book of 1 John is known as the book of love. The book of love. And appropriately so, because the theme of the book is centered on love. And that's why it transformed me so much, because it talks about love that we have for one another, love when we don't feel like loving, love that God has for us through His Son, Jesus Christ. Something that's missing a lot. When we talk about missing love in the world, where is it? Where is the love? Where is the tolerance? Where is all these sorts of things? And blah, 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 blah. Where is it individually in our lives? Love is a tough thing. Love is a tough thing. And that's why it transformed my life. I apologize if my energy's not as high today. I'm kind of conserving it because I have 4 small kids at home, so I make sure I have enough energy for them when I do that. So let's turn our passage to the book of 1 John. Our passage is in chapter 3, verse 12. 1 John chapter 3, verse 12. This loved book that I've been told. The theme of 1 John is appropriately so. The theme of the book is centered around love. It's because of love that God sent His Son to die on the cross for us. Right? It's because of love that Christ died on the cross for our sins. It's because of love that others will know that we are children of God. Love. 1 John chapter 3, verse 12. What we're focusing on. Not as Cain, who was of that wicked one, and slew his brother. And wherefore slew he him, because his own works were evil and his brother's righteous. May the Lord bless the reading of His word. Found it fun to kind of study Cain and Abel again. There's a few sermons that I've done that I hang back on, and I look back and I remember those sermons. And it hits me. It's some of my favorite sermons that I've ever preached. And this is one of them. Cain and Abel. Everybody kind of knows Cain and Abel for the most part, what happened there. But it's nice to kind of dig a little bit deeper and kind of expose maybe a few other things that maybe we didn't really know. Okay? If you look at verse 11, as we transition into it, this is what the Apostle John says. But this is the message that you heard from the beginning, that we should love one another. Love. Love. And the Apostle John made it clear the type of love that we should display. It is a love that is based on volition, an act of will. And unconditional love isn't based on emotion. When we're told to love unconditionally, you can't love unconditionally based on emotion, because even in the midst of a really heated argument with your spouse, with your family member, with a friend, emotionally at that moment, you may not love that person. That's not unconditional. And unconditional love is an act of volition, an act of will, which means despite what transpired, what happened, how that person might have behaved, we still choose to love. Despite the condition with which we are now engaged with that person. That's a mind-blowing thought. Because in this world, if somebody basically treats you a certain way, you can make do without them in your life, or you can go on social media and troll the person, completely make fun of them, and lead them to many different avenues to which they themselves may feel hatred toward you now. But the Apostle John speaks differently. It's a love based on volition and act of will. We must choose to love one another. That choice in and of itself is also extremely difficult, because I can tell you as a husband, there are times that I don't want to choose to love my wife. And I'm sure that there are those who are married. It's hard to choose to love one another. Sleeping in separate rooms, sleeping on the couch, being away from one another for 8, 9, 10 hours because you can't stand them. Siblings doing the same exact thing. Choosing to love. That's hard. But again, John gives us another example here in verse 12. We are not to act as Cain toward Abel, within the context of love. So let's take a look. Real quick. Not as Cain, who was the wicked one. Take a look at the phrase wicked one. Greek word, paneros. Panero, but with an O instead of an A. And then an O, O instead of an A. Paneros. Paneros in the Greek is the active form of evil. It's an active action. Works. It's not just passive. It's an active form of evil. What it also indicates is it indicates an aptness to do shrewd things. Meaning, delighting in mischief, delighting in tragedy, being perverse, taking joy in these things. You can read through articles and you wonder how people can be so malicious, be so perverse, and you wonder how or why can that actually happen. Well, shed a little light into it today. There are people who take joy in these things, who delight in these things. Okay? And so what can this imply? When we talk about not as Cain, who was the wicked one, right? We're applying this whole idea to Cain, the wicked one, paneros, delighting in this mischief. What does that imply? Well, the implication of this word, its emphasis in delighting in mischief, could very well imply that Cain delighted in killing his brother. Enjoyed it. It was not simple retaliation, it wasn't resentment, it wasn't revenge. But the deeper sentiment could be that Cain enjoyed the act of murder. Specifically, not just murdering anyone, but murdering his own brother. Join him. Now, to bring more evidence to light, well, we can say that. We can say that, oh, willy-nilly. Say whatever I want. Cain murdered his brother because he stole something. Unless it's actually defended by the Word of God, we can find the substance of the Word of God that defends that statement. It's just a theory. So to bring more evidence to the light of this idea, let's turn to the actual story. Turn your Bibles to Genesis chapter 4. Chapter 4. Cain and Abel. Take a look at verse 8. Reading from the King James Version, and it says, "And Cain talked with Abel, his brother, and it came to pass, when they were in the field, that Cain rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him." Verse 8 tells us that Cain talked with Abel, and when they were in the field, Cain rose up against his brother and killed him. Take a look at the word kill, slew. Rose up against Abel, his brother, and slew him, killed him. Hebrew word for kill is harag, H-A-R-A-G. In the Hebrew, there's only two tenses in Hebrew, perfect and imperfect. Okay. Here in this passage, the verb kill is in the imperfect tense. And the imperfect tense does not signal an act, but rather an action that, unless it's indicated in the passage, has no end. The imperfect tense talks about something that has been done, that unless it says in the passage that it actually stopped, does not end. What this implies is the repetition of which Cain continued to slay, to butcher, to murder his brother. And this repetitive action, if in fact is true, can only bring more credence to the notion that Cain enjoyed the act of murdering his brother. It wasn't a simple stabbing, it was a simple head, sewn to the head, or however he killed him. It was a continued action of slaying his brother. And again, you wonder how can that be possible? You read so many news stories today of how somebody can continue to do something and mutilate a body over and over and over again, enjoying that act. But again, Cain, right? We're wondering, all right, well, we knew he killed him, all right, so now we just know that he probably enjoyed killing him because he continued to butcher his brother. It wasn't just a simple act. It's in the imperfect tense in the Hebrew. But let's consider now why Cain actually murdered his brother. We had this idea because it was a Sunday school story that we grew up on. We know why. He was jealous. And yes, that's true. But let's dig a little bit deeper for why he did it. Apostle John specifically asked us not to love as Cain, who murdered his brother. And the overwhelming thought is that Cain murdered Abel because of jealousy. And this is true. And we'll come back to this shortly. But what angered Cain to the point of acting upon his evil? Okay, let's review the story. What do you know about the story? The whole thing was about offerings, right? Abel gave an offering, Cain gave an offering. God didn't like Cain's offering. So he went out and got upset and killed Abel. More to it than that. Let's look into it. Both Cain and Abel brought offerings. Cain brought fruit while Abel brought flock. The impression is that Cain brought only measly crops. Here's a little bit of what I have. Here, God, here's $1 that I have in my wallet. Here's a church offering for today. Measly, whatever I have. But everything else I'll keep to myself. Whereas Abel gave the choice flocks. Here's the best of what I have. Well, this is only partly true. Let me shed some light into what the Hebrew states. Take a look at verse 3, Genesis chapter 4. Let's look at the story. And in the process of time it came to pass that Cain brought of the fruit of the ground an offering unto the Lord. Verse 4. And Abel he also brought of the firstlings of his flock and of the fat thereof. And the Lord had respect unto Abel and his offering. Take a look. Verse 3. Take a look at the word fruit. Fruit of the ground. Offering. The word fruit there in the Hebrew is singular. Look at verse 4. Take a look at the word flock. Hebrew there, the noun is plural. Basic English language, you know the difference between singular and plural. This indicates that not